Welcome to The Explainer. We've all been there, asking ourselves that huge question. How do I find a meaningful life? Do you sit around and try to think your way to an answer? Or do you just get out there and act first? Well, today we're diving into why neuroscience gives a surprisingly clear answer, and it all comes down to how our brains decide what's actually real.
Right? It's this universal question that we all wrestle with. Is meaning something we find, like a hidden treasure we discover through careful thought? Or is it more like something we have to build with our own two hands? Let's take a look at the two main ways people go about it. So on one side, you've got the thinker. This is the person who's trying to map out a meaningful life entirely in their head before they even take the first step. And on the other side, you've got the doer, the one who just jumps in and figures out what's meaningful along the way. Now, to see which strategy works better, we don't have to turn to philosophy. We just have to look at our own biology.
And here's where it gets really cool. The answer, it turns out, isn't just some abstract idea. It's a physical, measurable signal inside our brains. A signal that literally tells us the difference between what's real and what's just in our imagination. I mean, really think about this for a second. How does your brain know that the chair you're sitting on is real, but that crazy dream you had last night wasn't? For centuries, philosophers debated this. But now, neuroscience has actually found a physical answer, a brain signal you can actually measure for realness. It's called the sense of realness. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a little stamp of authenticity from your brain. When you're physically experiencing something, your brain stamps it certified real. But when you're just imagining it, well, that stamp is a lot fainter, or maybe it's not there at all. And that stamp, that's the key to everything. So this isn't just one part of the brain. It's a whole network, a team, really. You've got the visual cortex handling how vivid something looks. Then the prefrontal cortex acts like a filter, connecting all that sensory information to your emotions and your identity, basically telling you, hey, this is happening to you. And finally, the hippocampus pieces it all together into one coherent scene. When you actually do something, this entire network just lights up like a Christmas tree. Okay, so we've got this cool brain science, but what does it have to do with finding meaning in your life? Well, let's see it in action by going back to our two people, the doer and the thinker. All right, so first up, we have our doer. This is the person who's just out there. They're learning a new skill, joining a club, actually talking to people and engaging with the world. Then we've got the thinker. He's spending his time mentally rehearsing all these things, trying to figure out which one is going to feel the most meaningful before he actually commits to doing anything. And here's the absolute game changer. The doer's brain is constantly getting flooded with these super strong, super rich sense of realness signals. Every real sight, every sound, every conversation is reinforcing that what they're doing is real. The thinker, on the other hand, is running on imagination. And while his brain is definitely active, that realness signal is just so much weaker because it's missing all that rich, real-world input. And this, right here, brings us to the core insight from all the research. The stronger that sense of realness signal is, the more likely our brain is to register that experience as meaningful. Realness is literally the ingredient for meaning. So you see, action isn't just a path to meaning. It's literally the engine that creates it inside our brains. Let's break down exactly how that feedback loop works. It's this incredibly simple but powerful cycle. Step 1, you do something real. Maybe you volunteer at an animal shelter. Step 2, your brain processes all the real stuff, the sights, the sounds, the feeling of helping. Step 3, this triggers a really strong realness signal in that brain network we talked about. And finally, step 4, your brain translates that strong signal into that feeling we're all chasing, that feeling of, wow, this matters, this is meaningful. Okay, now hold on. This doesn't mean thinking is bad or that you should just abandon planning altogether. Not at all. Imagination is crucial. It's the spark that gets us motivated and off the couch in the first place. But it's just the starting point. It can never, ever replace the deep sense of meaning that comes from direct, real-world experience. So how do we actually put this into practice in our own lives? Well, there's a really simple rule of thumb that can help guide us. Try to aim for an 80-20 split. Dedicate about 80% of your energy to real action, to doing things, engaging with the world, and collecting all those powerful realness signals. Then, use that other 20% to do the important work of planning, reflecting, and dreaming up what you're going to do next.
So, when you boil it all down, the message from our own neuroscience is crystal clear. Meaning isn't some treasure you go out and find under a rock. It's a structure you build one action at a time by getting your hands dirty in the real world. You don't search for it, you create it.
So let's make this real. Right here, right now. Forget about some grand 5-year plan for just a second. The real question is, what's one small, real action you can take today to start generating those signals and begin building your own meaningful life?